It was a phrase that I just came to hate, and I'm sure many of you did too, but it was the phrase, there's a new normal. And I hated that over and over again. We'd hear this new normal as if there's this condition we have to accept, this way of life we have to accept. There's nothing we can do about it. And the new normal was we were isolated. We wore masks so we couldn't see each other's faces. We couldn't engage with each other in meaningful ways. There was all of these things that just perpetuated this isolation in our lives. And I find myself thinking about how hard we tried to look at the good in that area. And we talk about things like, hey, what are the good things we're taking away? We're spending time with family, our commute's lower, all these things. And we were trying to disguise all of the reality of we felt alone. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we were feeling in the lockdown, was alone. And industry innovated. Businesses came up with new ways to serve clients because clients couldn't go to restaurants. So delivery services became a big deal. DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff became a bigger deal. And people start going to those places to have their needs resourced. We even started having grocery pickup where you could go and pick it up, and then grocery delivery. And all of these efforts were being made to help facilitate the fact that we couldn't be around each other. The challenge is it created isolation, and now a lot of that isolation continues in our world. We continue to separate ourselves from the world, not to be in community. And it's kind of interesting when you think about it. In the movies back in the day, you'd see those people that never left their house, that would never be out in their yard. You'd see them as the strange people, the outcasts, the people you had to be careful around, the people you shouldn't go by. And it's kind of interesting just to see that there was this whole way of living life back in the movies that we considered those people as the abnormal ones. But now we're building lives around that idea of being able to be removed, not having to engage. And I know, as someone who's been self-employed for 10 years, there have been seasons where sometimes I'd go out to eat at a restaurant just to be around people, or even just enjoy that time of checking out at the grocery store, having small talk with the cashier. And now even those things were taken away. Now it's checkout. You go to the fast food restaurant and you punch in your order, or you order it on an app before you get there. We're continuing to do things to isolate ourselves, and it brings us to this idea that we were not created to be by ourselves. Our very nature is not for the purpose of being isolated and alone. You were created to be in community. That's how we're all designed. Whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, you still need people around you. You still need community. And so now more than ever, as our society's been built around this idea of having things provided for you, having things brought to you so that it's just left at your door, you don't have to interact with anyone. Society's built around this idea of not engaging with people. And so we have to be more intentional than ever before about being in community. And just being around people isn't the key, but I guess I'm just contemplating today the fact that those of us who want to fight to have good, healthy community around us, we have to fight harder than ever before. We have to be more intentional than ever before, because our society's built for convenience and for not interacting with people. And so that's just a thought that I've been thinking about. Wanted to get your take. Do you believe that there are lingering effects of isolation from the pandemic era, from the COVID lockdowns? Do you think that there's still a need for being intentional around community? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear where it's hard for you, whether it's you're working at home now and you miss the water cooler talk, or if it's just the fact that you're not able to engage in people in some of the social activities you used to engage because some of those things went away. I'd love to hear your thoughts.